and then recording number 3, and I'll leave it on this one as well. Basically what I put across, and I don't know why. Nobody's telling me info about my situation. I'm being given lots of misinformation and stuff. But, if I am under public surveillance, and what ties to mind control and stuff, and things like that, basically what I was putting across was, what's up, Doc? What I was basically putting across was, that, I see you, man. Wonder why, I'm being shot with hostility, and not along with the gang stalking and stuff. But in general, I've always was asking myself for weeks, why people in this town treat me with lots of it. They treat me with hostility, disrespect, as if, I'm a piece of scum. Now, I don't know what it's about, or, what's regarding this, but, what I suspect it was something to do with, this lady Inga, and where, people were telling me she was younger than I thought she was. She's supposed to be 16 and stuff. In that regards, moralistically, when I discovered that she was most likely 16, as I said, it's a thing that an age I'd never go for. I usually go for older women. Well, you're not older, but a woman around my age. But like I said, I don't know if they've been made out to be some kind of pervert or stuff, or whatever it is. This is where it should be respectfully tied to address me with anything that's been said about me. It's all I know on that one. I'm confused about this lady. I won't start gossiping because I don't. But why I tie as to why the people in this bungalow behind me are still there. Where I saw her in there at the time. And there's this other lady which looks kind of like her, but with a different name around this town who I'm seeing. But her name's Barbara. It's not Inga. And like I said, I try not to get confused. All I know is, in this lady Barbara's profile, I saw what was Inga on her main profile picture, in a pink dress and stuff. And, on there, I don't know, she looks older than 16. But as I said, I was never informed of any of this stuff. And every time I mentioned, my concerns, I was made to be delusional, or even told that she doesn't exist, as if she's in my imagination, as if I'd think, it was more suspicious of what I found on the side of what I was being told. People telling me she was dead, people saying she was in my imagination, that made me think as if that people were hiding the fact that she is even alive or exists. Like I said, all I know is on this one is, if I've been made out to be whatever I should be supposed to be made out of, if it's ties to public acknowledgement knowing me, a political opponent, and it's most likely rumours or lies, to destroy my reputation. But it is. All I do is address that, legally, anybody who's been making anything up about me, falsify claims or evidence, whether it's government or authorities, legally have to address me when these are read, especially if they're made publicly. When Snowden's been mentioned as a traitor or whatever, behind his situation, or anybody who's basically publicly ridiculed, they're at least addressed when they know it's in public eye, or publicly known. Now, if I've ever had anything publicly made about me, like I said, the confusion lays between the gang stalking or if I'm publicly acknowledged. But all I know is they legally still know, it's been said about them. They have acknowledgement, it's in the paper, or it's wherever it's put where they can actually speak out against it. Now, if people have been making up things about me publicly, legally you should be addressing me about these things. Because, if I was to find out that I'm being treated with hostility, having acid poured on my feet, and God knows what else, and I'm being treated now because somebody like the media or the government have been making up lies about me, you know, I'd like to make sure this is addressed to me, because one thing I don't appreciate is it being possible and me walking around being oblivious to half of the stuff that's being said about me. And you know, that would be illegal on your grounds to do. You know, what ties to Inga, as I said, you know, I won't bother going into say if it is her, this lady Barbara, using a different name. You know, I'm sure she'd be upset because I didn't recognise her. But as I said, the way I'd already been lied to, and they were saying Inga's dead and stuff, in my imagination, you know, when I saw this lady Barbara, you know, if it isn't this lady Inga, let's just say, in my mind it was. I'm not sure. She kind of looks like I'm confused, but you know, they could be using any lady that looks similar in regards of how paranoid I was to make me believe that, you know, why they keep her in that bungalow, to make me think she's safe and you know, well-being's okay. Like I said, I don't trust anyone in this situation, and there's a reason why those men who were there at the time when I saw her in the bungalow, you know, are still going in and out of there. You know, it looked like a safe house to protect her, you know, from the reports I suspected of her being a victim of. And you know, the only reason why what looks like police protection would be there is if they're still protecting someone. And the only person I saw in there that one time was Inga. And like I said, that's all I know on that one. But like I said, you know, this lady Barbara, you know, on her profile, it looks like her, you know, Inga, you know, the profile picture of her wearing the what looks like a pink dress, and the one where she's sitting with another dude. I mean, with a dude, not as in another dude for me, not her as being a dude. But like I said, you know, it's so damn confusing in regards to this lady, and you know, I just want to make sure that she's safe, her well-being is okay. You know, I don't have proof, but you know, what tied to why I suspected, and based on my paranoid situation of what my friend Barry was saying, you know, or implying, you know, he was trying to imply to me, they were trying to make out that I was, you know, watching and over that bungalow stalking her, because I knew she was in there. Where I laid that across was, you know, the suspicion derived, you know, from, you know, one of the, I don't know if it's police protection, but like I said, first time I saw him, he was more calm, relaxed. You know, when I was speaking to him, I didn't know she was in there at the time. Second time I basically had my concerns of what I suspected via sensor stuff, that she wasn't safe in there. You know, all of a sudden, you know, the next time I see him, body language analysis, behaviour-wise, it was basically showing nervousness and guilt. And I question myself that if he isn't guilty of what I've addressed via Facebook to the police, whoever read it, you know, of what I suspected, why next time from the first time where he was more calm and relaxed, was he showing signs of guilt and uncomfortableness and nervousness around me? Because unless it was true what I suspected, he wouldn't be. But, you know, that was just part of, you know, what was going on. Like I said, there was another thing, although I wasn't very accurate based on sense and what my friend Barry was implying, that basically she might have been put in there and somebody was making out that I was supposedly did something to her. You know, I didn't have much backup on that one though, but if that was a statement, only she can say what happened. You know, what ties to you know, the situation is March the 7th around 7 o'clock or so, I think. You know, Newland Centre will show from with me and her, you know, walking along Rockingham Road through the Newland Centre, down London Road to Tesco. And like I said, the street lights have cameras in them, as I see them go on and off sometimes. And so if any claims were made that I supposedly did something to her, all I can say is luckily these street lights with cameras in them, you know, show the whole walk from Wood Street, where she used to live, to Tesco, and hopefully that'll clear my name from any possible falsified claims or evidence. Like I said, it'll be more of a thing to upset me more, you know, if I was accused, because I was the one that, you know, showed concerns when she told me, you know, that she's a victim of prostitution, and the first thing I did was get on the phone to the police to try and get help and get her out of the danger. And this is why, you know, based on when I started suspecting one of these men doing something to her, you know, I basically set up those webcams to make sure that she's safe and okay. You know, it was the first thing I wanted to make sure. To me, you know, ties back to that video that I felt I was the only one who has concerns or was looking out for her safety. And like I said, where I suspected she was being put in the same situation as before, you know, it was the reason why I set those cameras up. And where I know that people in authorities or higher up, where the honest ones would also be able to watch for those cameras, and they'll hopefully look into it themselves. What I tied back to the video was, say, you know, her friends I said were expecting me, you know, to go Rambo style or something, you know, to help her. You know, I basically explained myself on that say if I did go, you know, do anything what I see as stupid. And like I said, all I know is if I walked through those gates trying to find out what was going on, in my situation, I feel they would have been quick to find an excuse to arrest me. And like I said, nobody would have been able to look over those bungalows and, you know, show their concerns. You know, as I said, and, you know, that's the one I want to leave on there. But, you know, I wouldn't be surprised, you know, if people have been making up things about me. And like I said, you know, sometimes the public showed changes in behaviour. Times where I basically showed what I suspected were made up rumours. I made out to be a criminal. And times when I proved or explained myself on what I suspected, they showed less hostility. Or, you know, they changed their behaviour from visual analysis. You know, it's for good signs. And every time that I'm treated like dirt again, usually it means that somebody's made something up about me. I mean, you know, I don't know what that was about the other day. Housing officer comes around and I felt like they wanted me to squirm or something. You know, I'd be nervous. And, you know, in the eyes of South was in the eyes of public, they'd find it justifiable. Because, you know, I've been made out to be scum again. All I know is every time I've been made out to be something, I've cleared my name. And the pattern usually goes, I speak about something political, and you know, these people, they basically find a way to set me up and discredit me or ruin my reputation as their bit of revenge. That's all they work on for their skills. You know, they can't do anything better. And this is how I know it works. You know the pattern, and that's what they do. And like I said, hopefully in the end, you know, I'll legally find out, you know, as to why, you know, I'm being trapped like a piece of fucking scum off the floor. And, you know, what's been said. And, you know, hopefully these things will be cleared up. I mean, you know, tied to this Barbara lady, which I won't go, you know, very more into the story. You know, I do remember a time I bumped into the same house where I saw Inga at the time. You know, she was basically showing me a letter saying, you know, she wasn't saying she was Inga, but she was saying that she lives here. And she was showing me a letter with her name and address on. And this is why this lady confuses me. If it is her, because she could have just addressed and said, yeah, my name's Inga, instead of saying that she's a different name, Barbara. But as I said, I saw her go on that. This is why the confusion and mistrust lays between everyone I've, you know, talked to who said to know her or, you know, have anything to do with her. Like I said, because they're not very clear, you know, on addressing me of these things. You know, if it's her, she's using a different name. She's saying her name's Barbara now. You know, she's not being direct to say it's me. You know, if it isn't her, you know, that then people are lying or stuff. And, you know, it's so fucking confusing. You know, it's so much misinformation I've been told. And like I said before, you know, the cherry on the cake to never trust anyone in this town based on misinformation was when people were saying that Inga was dead. And like I said, you know, the people who are misinforming me were people I didn't even know, or as far as I knew her, and strangers basically saying that she was dead. And you know, that was the cherry on the top as to why. You know, I never will trust anyone around here. But all I leave on here is that if anybody, authorities-wise or government-wise or media-wise, has ever been saying anything about me, and the public do know me, then I would appreciate that you address me, and you address me directly when anything is made up. Because, without me knowing or being given this information or knowing of all these things, first of all, it's illegal because they're falsified claims, and I justifiably should know. And second of all, it means I'll go around oblivious to that the public are brainwashed to see me as something I'm most likely not. And, I'm being treated with hostility and disrespect. And if I find out this is true in the end, along with any more falsified claims and evidence, all I'll tell you is I'll be more pissed off than you are, every time I basically speak my mind on something. And I'll leave it on there.
Have a nice day. Have a nice day.
Hello?
Hello, Neo. Do you know who this is?
Morpheus.
Yeah. I've been looking for you, Neo. I don't know if you're ready to see what I want to show you, but unfortunately you and I have run out of time. They're coming for you, Neo, and I don't know what they're going to do.
Who's coming for me?
Stand up and see for yourself.
What, right now?
Yes. Now. Do it slowly. The elevator.
Oh, shit.
Yes.
What the hell do they want from me?
I don't know, but if you don't want to find out, I suggest